Gloves came off inside the Fox Theater for round 2 of the Detroit Democratic debate.
Certainly a lot of hot moments tonight. All eyes were on Detroit as the second set of candidates fought for their time in the political spotlight.
We have team coverage of the high-stakes event. Let's begin with anchor Glenda Lewis. She is live outside the Fox Theater tonight. Glenda?
Well, that's right, Dave, Carolyn. The candidates came out swinging tonight, ready to earn your vote. And some of the big moments from Detroit are making headlines across the country tonight. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden renewed their argument over racial issues. Two of the candidates, Governor Jay Inslee and Julian Castro, called President Trump a racist. And then things also getting heated when the candidates were asked about the Flint water crisis. But it was immigration talks that set the crowd off.
I never heard him talk about any of this when he was the secretary.
Please be respectful. Please be respectful in the crowd. Please continue, Mr. Vice President.
And protesters did not immediately stop fueling the candidates to further their responses. Another moment everyone is talking about tonight is when Mayor Bill de Blasio dished out some harsh words for Joe Biden.
Mr. Vice President, you want to be president of the United States, you need to be able to answer the tough questions. I guarantee you, if you're debating Donald Trump, he's not going to let you off the hook. So did you say those deportations were a good idea, or did you go to President?
And for some in the crowded field, the Detroit debate could be make it or break it. We're going to turn our coverage now to 7 Action News reporter Brian Abel to break down more of the highlights tonight. Brian.
Well, Glenda, last night was more moderates versus progressives. Tonight, it was Joe Biden, the frontrunner, versus Kamala Harris and everybody else. And once again, it all started on health care.
You can't beat President Trump with double talk on this plan.
Unfortunately, Vice President Biden, you're just simply inaccurate in what you're describing. The reality is that our plan will bring health care to all Americans under a Medicare for All system.
The debate then pivoted to this.
I would immediately rejoin that Paris Accord. I would make sure that we up the ante, which it calls for. I would be able to bring those leaders together who I know. I'd convene them in the White House like we did in the nuclear summit, and I would raise the standard.
We are too late. We are 10 years too late. We need to do everything we can to start moving the climate in the right direction, but we also need to start moving our people to higher ground.
I also was asked, as the mayor of Detroit can tell you, by the President of the United States to help Detroit get out of bankruptcy and get back on its feet. I spent better part of 2 years out here working to make sure that it did exactly that.
And this moment, one of the more tense exchanges of the night.
You actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty, and that has never changed.
So now the question is, who resonated the most with voters? Some clear differences between the candidates as this field is surely to shrink down before the next debate. So clearly some memorable moments had to be here in Detroit. Now let's toss it over to Rudy Harper, who is checking the facts with PolitiFact. Rudy?